At 8:30, we're going to do our build-along class. If you're not signed up for that, go to www.clcraftsman.com, and it takes a paid membership for that, and you kind of get the lay of the land of what we're doing. Be sure to like these videos, subscribe to them. Let me see here. Oh, I want to discuss what I'm doing tonight with the Thunderbolt. Let's talk about the elevator stabilizer. This is finally completed, and what I did is I primed, just like I told you, the pocket, and I glued in the horns, but I haven't glued on the elevators because I was going to just glue them on and then finish them, but I think I probably can get a better finish if I finish them separate and glue them on after they're in the airplane. But I did tinker with this until it was absolutely perfect. There is no bind anywhere. It does not touch or rub anywhere, and that's how free they are. I mean, they are super free. You see how they fall down, and we'll glue them in after it's on the airplane. Now the weight of this apparatus came out, I think it was 2 8/10 or something like that, almost 3 ounces. 2 9/10, but it is rather large. So this has 3 coats for the substrate on it, and then it was tissued, as I showed last night in the video, and that it now has 3 coats on top of the tissue. And I've been sanding on it a little. You can't really sand a whole lot on this fresh dope, but you know I have sanded on it some, and there it is. You sand it with 320 first, and then this is 600, and we're kind of just polishing it off. You just do a light sanding on it, and I'm basically done brushing dope on this. I'm not going to shoot any more dope or brush any more dope on this. It will get a spray coat of clear. I decided while tinkering in the shop here, I had made another rudder, but we're going to make a different one tonight. I made that one, and it would require it being sheeted. As I stated before, I don't believe that hollowing these things out offers any advantage if you have light wood, and I do have a light piece of wood, so I'm going to go ahead and remake the rudder with the scale type pocket hinges in it, and I'm going to do that tonight on camera in the next hour. Of course, I probably won't get that finished tonight, but that's okay. So this is feels like a piece of plastic now, and as I stated, I don't know whether it was in a video that I had made before or not. This is probably my best work I've ever done right here, so I'm real happy with it. Can't get any better than that. So, put it back together. I'm going to set this aside. I got some bubble wrap downstairs. I'll end up bubble wrapping it, taping it up, and setting it up somewhere while I work on other projects as to not get any nicks on it. But off camera, I took the liberty to draw out my new rudder and vertical stabilizer, vertical fin. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this out. We're going to lay out the scale-like hinges, because I had stated before that I'm going to, if I can get all my jobs done, I'm going to try to finish this up, and we'll be flying this at Brodak in Stunt. I can only take 2 airplanes in my car. I'm going to take the shoestring, because I'm going to fly scale at Brodak's this year. And if you have never been to Brodak's, I would suggest this is the last one coming up, Father's Day. I would suggest that you make the trek to Carmichael's, Pennsylvania, because it's like no other time you've ever seen, and this is the last year. And when it's gone, it's gone. So I'll be taking my shoestring for sure. If I don't get the Thunderbolt done, I'll be taking my Monado or my Atlas. More than likely the Monado, because the Atlas still needs to be cleared, and it's not a tested airplane. But it's still there, and it's still a a concept I can go with. But I want to take, if I can get the Thunderbolt done, I'll take the Thunderbolt and I'll end up flying it in sport scale and stunt. You know, now with the advent of electrics, it kind of leaves you the opportunity to do that, because the receiver is only that big, and I can take it out of my shoestring and plug it in to where the timer goes, and I've suddenly changed a scale or a stunt plane into a semi-scale sport plane where I have throttle control. So that's kind of cool. All right. Got it basically cut out. We're going to lay out the pockets for this. I think I'm going to move them up half the distance. So we're going to go there and there. And you think, what the heck am I doing? Well, I'll show you. Half the distance. Part of the thing that made the Thunderbolt so appealing were the scale details that it had on it. At least it was for me. If you look at Billy's lightning bolt, Thunderbolt, the one that I copied, Thunderbolt number 3, or modeled mine after, I didn't really copy it, but I made the paint job very similar. The amount of scale details on that is really cool. So when you take that out to the field, people go, wow, that's a neat airplane. So this airplane will probably get something like that. Now I've got to get this edge here pretty much flat, because the scale hinges, there we go, get glued onto this. So one, let's make sure it's okay. We have that. Now, before I did that, I took the liberty of cutting a half-inch piece here, and we're going to take this, and I'm going to cut it 1/2 inch, and we're going to use the lines on the cutting board here to more or less get it at a 1/2 inch. And you think, well, what the heck are those? Well, I'm going to show you. These are the scale hinges. They don't weigh anything. You're not going to gain any weight because you're going to cut this same piece out of this over here, and they add a little detail. So we're just going to put that on there like so, and glue that there. We need one more. Around the shop or around the bench here, I need input and kind of ideas on what you guys would like to see me do here. Otherwise, it's just watching me build airplanes. That looks pretty good. So we have that. Let's get a piece of wax paper because I don't want to glue that to this. I'm going to be showing how I use my Mattel vacuum former to make pilots too. The pilots that I make are 3 grams. Unfortunately, I have a pilot for this guy, for this airplane. You know, it's quite heavy, but I want the coolness of that pilot. It's just, it's so unbelievably cool. I just got to have it. So we're going to put this up here like so. Glue it down. Same for this piece right here. So, glue it on the other side. Gotta have a good bond on those. You'll notice that the grain of this rudder doesn't run straight up and down. It runs with the leading edge of the rudder. And that more or less gives it a lot less chance to warp. So let's clean this off here. Now comes the fun part. You have to round these hinges symmetrically on both of them. First, I'm going to cut the notches for it. So it kind of gives you an idea of what you can get done in an hour at a time. Because I have not been working on the Thunderbolt except for what you've seen on the video. And all the videos can be found on the P47 Thunderbolt uh, group on my channel. You're going to be able to find all these online live shows on my channel, kind of grouped together so you can watch it. You're going to be able to see all the build-along videos grouped on the Excalibur stream. If you haven't used my channel, go to the channel and favorite it. Make sure that you join or subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get notifications when I'm going to be streaming and into the channel updates. Without being a subscriber, you really can't see it. Okay, so we have the, I might as well make the shake here too. Now this is the basic shape. Of this rudder. And we're going to cut out these notches. I'm going to use the saw to do that. Hopefully this saw will go deep enough. Doesn't look like it. No, it does. If you got any questions, go ahead and ask in the chat area. Be more than happy to answer them. I can see how many people are watching. I can see when you type in that chat box. This is something I'm going to do every night at 7 o'clock. I'm going to stream 1 hour on this, and at 8:30 we're going to do our build-along project until it's finished. This will be like your evening news at 7. How's it going, Dane? Must be raining in Las Vegas. My dad said it was. He lives in Overton, if you ever been there. When you're doing these things, don't get in a big rush. Don't I mean, if it doesn't quite come out, well, we'll get it. I'm going to take a woman's fingernail file and file that so it fits perfect. But here's the faux hinges, and I did not get it right. So it's got to be, this one right here has to be sanded. Oh, man. Not raining on my side, but it was 20. Oh boy, you are 27 degrees. You guys are freezing. Well, I can see that that's going to be an issue, so we got to straighten this out. This is my machinist scale with 2 different grits sandpaper on it. It's 80 on one side, 180 on the other. So we're just going to tinker until we got this correct. And you're thinking, well, why am I not sanding it off that? Well, I don't want to open up those holes anymore, and I have to. These get hardened with CA, and then, well, they're going to get sanded round, these pieces, and then hardened with CA, and then we'll taper the rudder. Dane, have you seen my Thunderbolt that Joey has? That one wasn't the best one I built, but the only one that's still alive. Okay, let's check it out here. Yeah, I'm going to have to add some wood in there, it looks like. Some 16th. Either that or cut new notches. No. We'll add wood. Then I have to add wood. They're just cut a little bit larger. Cut on the wrong side of the line. But that's the nice thing about balsa wood. It doesn't matter. There are no mistakes. So if we center it up, it has about a 16th all the way around there, and then on this one here, it's 3/32. So I'm going to add a 16th piece to this and sand it off. Or I could just, we'll just cut this off. I'll cut this off. No, better not. No, I will. Can't make up my mind. I'll cut that off and put a new piece on it. We still got to add something to it anyway. Okay. So we've been running about 23 minutes here. Haven't got a whole lot done. More or less talked about the elevator stabilizer. Tonight on Control Line Craftsman, I'm not sure what we're going to do. I got to pull out all the pieces and kind of evaluate what we've got done. We only got about 4 or 5 hours invested in the model. Yeah, I didn't figure it'd be flying. Yeah, that's better. That's worse. What the heck's going on here? Cut it a little bit bigger. Cut her a little bigger and sand a new one. New hole. Measure twice, cut once, but everything will be fine. Well, we got one of the biggest audiences tonight. That's better. So we clean these up. The sandpaper is just a little too aggressive. We'll cut this at a 90. I'm going to knock off this one. Resand this. The bad thing about make in Southern Colorado looking forward to seeing you when it's done. Oh, Mike has it, huh? I don't know, Mike. Maybe, well, Joey crashed it, and supposedly he took the rudder off or the top, or I have no idea what it looked like after he crashed it. But that is the only one left. Until I get this one done. My sister lives there in Vegas too. I forgot. There, that's a better fit. Have to tinker with it. Back and forth till we got it to fit right. That looks pretty good. Okay, now it's a point of getting it on there right. Well, that's a lot of work for just two little bumps on there, but that's what I want. Oh, good. Okay, so now we're going to affix these to this, and how we're going to do that. Oh, man. Should have done it like this in the first place. Wasn't thinking. A lot of work for two little lumps. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Now, use this small block cleaned up. Now that these hinges are not square blocks, they're rounded. So you got to round them, which is not a big deal, not real hard to do. Now I think the two Thunderbolts that I built didn't have this on here, this detail. Number 3 did. And that's the one I did the best with at the Nats as far as appearance judging. I never could get that airplane to fly very well. First off, it was too heavy. And second off, I thought it was, a little bit underpowered. And that's why I went to the 75. And I'll tell you, with the 75 on it, Paul Taylor can attest, it's got plenty of power. I'm just hoping this electric version will have that same amount of power. And I'll show you the motor that I got for it. I'm trying to design this airplane. Everybody's been using Plattenberg and MBVS and OS motors. I really don't believe you need all that. This airplane is going to be powered with a Hobbico Turnigy motor. And according to all the numbers, and I'm no electrician, but according to all the numbers, the kV numbers, this should be exactly the same as the 32. I think it's 32. But this is like half the price. So I'm thinking I do have the real expensive 10-ounce batteries, and they're real expensive. They're $100 a piece, and I'll probably use those because I just don't have the money to buy those. But I'm thinking that any of the Hobbico or the Hobby King batteries would work. Anyway, there's our rudder, and now we're going to shape it. So basically I've built a trick rudder. We've been working on this about 20 minutes, and we'll get it sanded up and shaped. Then I have to hinge it. I use plate hinges and a piece of brass because it's adjustable, but it's not really movable. So I could probably just glue it, but it's always nice to have that option to adjust it. Then I want to see what it weighs after I get this thing shaped up. Now normally on a stunt plane I sand an airfoil in it. Well, because of this is a semi-scale airplane, we're going to sand the airfoil symmetrical. Now we're down to 3 again. So I do have my loyal followers, but I'm not real funny to watch, and it's rather boring. So unless you're a model airplane person, it's really not your cup of tea. Anyway, that's what we have so far. Now we get out the trusty 30 grit sandpaper, and we're going to taper this. Now normally when I do the tapering on these, I leave it about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm taking 1/8 of an inch off each side. And that seems to work pretty good. We can get a pen to work. Once you get a routine and a rhythm and, and a style of building, stick to it. You don't have to build in my style. What I show just works for me. Okay, matter of fact, let's get the plane out. We'll plane off a little bit because this is a little bit harder than normal. Somebody was asking me what kind of plane. This is a Hobbyco plane. The trick to planes is only have this blade stick out about 10 thousandths. You notice in just a few swipes, I've shaped it already. And then we'll come back with the 30 grit and then the 80 grit. The thing about tools, and I can attest to this as a mechanic, is you want the tool to work for you. You don't want to work the tool. So you got to know how to set that tool up to work for you. Otherwise, it takes forever to do the job. So 10 thousandths sticking out, and that's it. I think I need to turn the camera up just a little bit. And I should be able to see that here in a second. We got kind of like a 30-second delay. I haven't figured out how to zoom this camera yet, but I'm sure that it can be. And thank a 12-year-old girl for helping me get this far. 12-year-old girl who I never met. I heard that squeaky voice on there, and I go, man, you know, a kid's going to help me, but they've got it fixed. So I figure that an hour with Spark is about as long as most people can take by the looks of the way the chat room's in and out. Oh, I'd like to say this is our 200th video. So the milestone came tonight, 200 videos. And in the next few days, look for us to have our 500 subscribers that I needed. I figured out how to get some subscribers. I'm going to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'm going to get Hobbyco and some of the other bigger sponsors to sponsor this business. That's what I'm shooting for. We need to get those big RC guys on board. Of course, unless the drones are going to kill the hobby, which we won't know for 2 weeks. The live stream helps me out quite a bit because I don't have to do any of the editing or whatever. It's already being uploaded to YouTube so that you can view it at a later date. The enhancements on my videos as far as music, cutting out some of the less boring things. I mean, this is entirely up to you guys. I'll leave it to whatever you guys want me to do. If you'd rather I didn't stream these, we can stream the classes and around the bench, but if you'd rather I just made the movies, just let me know. Because I can get a little creative with making a movie, but if this takes me an hour to do, it takes me 2 hours on the computer to get up to you. It takes longer for me to get it on the internet for everybody to see than it does for me to do the job. As you've seen me do this in the last half hour or 40 minutes we've been working on it. This 40 minutes will take an hour and a half to 2 hours to get up on YouTube. It's just not worth it. So that's why I look for the live stream. I'm hoping this is going to be light enough. I think the most I had watching at once so far is 7. But I think if I pick a time and stream every night at that time, I think the number will go up. Let's see what the weight difference is. So here we have, let's put it on grams. That's a ½ ounce, 15 grams. This is 8 and 7, 15. 7 grams lighter for that. However, 7 grams lighter, I still would have to cover it and put, it's not worth it. Because I'm going to sand on this and get it down to 14 or 13 grams. So we're looking at a 5 gram difference. And I still could cut this out, but I really don't want. If you look at the real Thunderbolts, the early ones had fabric covered rudders and vertical stabilizers. The later ones, the bubbles, were sheeted, and from what I read, they used to peel the covering off the rudder and elevators in maneuvers. You've seen 20. Oh, great, Mike. So this is a later model bubble, and I just felt that it would be better to have solid surfaces. And I wanted these groovy little hinges. Let's see what it weighs now. See, it's down to 13 now, so 2 grams off of it already, just sitting here talking or rubbing on it. Yeah, if you look at all my videos, I have a video for just about everything in there. How to grade wood, how to mold propellers, how to make landing gear, how to how to design. There's 200 videos, and I know that there's over 300 hours of material. Because out of those 200 videos, many of them are 2 hours or an hour and a half long. I think the shortest one I have is the intro video that I did, and it's under a minute, but that doesn't count. That's just the intro to my channel. So be sure, if you're joined in now and you're not a subscriber, like, subscribe, share these videos. It helps me. So we have that piece done. Now let's go on to this. Still waiting for that Bernie Trent sandpaper. We got about 14 minutes on this stream, and then we'll go to Control Line Craft, and it'll take me a half hour to clean up. That'll run at 8:30. So if you're a subscriber to Control Line Craftsman, I think this is going to be the last night that I leave it open to the public. In order to see the stream, you're going to have to get the key for the stream on Control Line Craftsman. It's going to be a private video, and you'll need the stream key. I'm just now figuring all this stuff out. If it was up to me, we'd have it on our own server, but I don't know what I'm doing, so and I'm not smart enough to figure it out yet, but we will. You know, the young people coming up, this is nothing, you know, this is all new to them, because they, or, you know, not new to them, because they grew up with it. For us older guys, you know, I grew up with points. Yes, you ask now, mechanic, can you explain dwell? Nope. Do you know what dwell is? Nope. Well, I'm going to give you the explanation to dwell. And some of you guys might care, and some of you might not care. But dwell is the time measured in degrees of crankshaft rotation. Crankshaft rotation. That the points are closed. 31 degrees is optimum. You can't load a coil with energy any more than 31 degrees of crankshaft rotation. Don't ask me why. I know why I remember that. And that happened in 1969 when I was going to LPDVC. Or was it 70? 70. I had a teacher by the name of Ken Gardner from American Eagle McCormack Products. And he was a half-miler at Ascot Park in Gardena, and he was the motorcycle mechanics instructor at that school. And he drummed that into my head because I was trying to make go fast two-strokes at that time. Okay, let's see what it weighs. 13, so we can't get out of the 13. Anyway, I've rounded the spot off for the hinges. We're going to, I guess it'd be a good idea to straighten up the bottom so it has a good place to glue to the elevator, because this, and this is not how Billy has it, but this is how I'm going to have it. This is going to glue right there on that inside the fuselage, but that will help hold that from breaking. I added a extra, I don't know, about 3/4 of an inch or so on the bottom here so it could glue on top of the stabilizer. re-engineering his original drawing. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them. I'm just saying that all three of the thunderbolts that I built broke the elevator in the same spot. So I'm a mechanic, and if you keep trying the same things over and over again and it fails each time, that is insanity. That is the definition. So you got to try something else. So that's why we're going to do that. Anyway, it's pretty simple. I can't tell whether I'm smelling gas or what up here. It smells like a gas leak. I have to go down and check, make sure that everything's okay. We're going to cut this off in about 8 minutes because I think I got a problem going on. It smells like I smell gas. I can't tell. Unless it's garlic or something. But what will happen is here, I will, off camera, there's no need to work on this on camera, but off camera I will finish sanding this, and I'll dope it 3 coats tonight, let it set while we're working on our other project, and then tomorrow I'll tissue it and finish it, and that'll be elevator stabilizer, rudder, and wing complete, and that leaves just the fuselage to finish. And if I got on the stick, I could do that in a weekend. And I'm hoping that my way of building, or ethics, or methods, or whatever, help you with your building. And you want quality. That's the biggest thing is quality over speed. I can just do it fast because I've been doing it for so long. And it will take you practice to get fast. Get good, then get fast. Because there's a lot of guys I see who are never going to get good, and and who are never going to get fast because they don't listen or have the desire or whatever. So everybody that's here, I know, has the desire to become better at building by watching these. When I was a kid, I was all ears. Hi, well, how come you're doing that? Why are you doing it that way? How far is up? What color's the sky? Is the grass green? Just all kind of questions. Because I really wanted to know what was going on with these airplanes. And at that time, nobody would tell you. Hard to get the time of day. Well, let's see what this whole rudder weighs. God, I hope it ain't too darn heavy. Well, we're under an ounce, so that's good. About 3/4 of an ounce. So I'll keep sanding on it, try to get it down some more. Like to have this at a 1/2 ounce, but the days of the good wood is just gone. That's the only problem. We're 5 minutes out from program's end, because it will take me a 1/2 an hour to clean this mess up to move to our next project. And the stream is already set. If you're a subscriber, you'll be getting a notification on the stream. How's the quality of this? Because I am shooting at 720p, but 480. So I don't know. Does the quality look all right? It's not quite as choppy. I don't know. Anyway, put that there. We got these for patterns. They can go over there. Here's this. I probably should have made them that wide. Any questions while I'm cleaning up? Looks okay, good. I got to go downstairs, see if there's a gas leak, because it's really wafting up here. I don't know whether there's some cooking going on down there or what, but I gotta investigate. So 2 minutes. I'm going to cut the stream. I thank you all for joining me this evening. We're going to do Around the Bench every night at 7 o'clock. I will do my build along class at 8:30 every night until we're done. The 8:30 stream tonight could run a little late depending on what's going on downstairs. But it comes first. I gotta have a place to stay. So leave your comments in the comments box. Like, subscribe, share on Facebook, share on Twitter. I gotta hit that 1,000 subscriber mark before I can get Hobbyco and the other, Great Plains and all the rest of them to partner with me. If I can do that, I mean, everything kind of revolves around money. If I can do that, I'll have no problem with making this, a valid way to go. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do something else. And there, like I said before, there is nobody on the internet offering this type of stream or class or commentary or whatever. You can watch a lot of stupid shit on YouTube. I mean, you could sit there in front of that computer for hours watching stupid shit. So that concludes our Around the Bench with Spark. I thank you for watching. You guys have a wonderful evening. Tight lines.